Friends who knew me, they're like, so when I started my nursing job, some nurses can be very mean. So I would go home and I would cry every night, and I would say, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I wouldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the mean things that people were saying to me. So I started giving myself pep talks in my head. I would say, okay, if this person is mean to you today, you need to start saying something. So I learned if I said something back to the person, not mean, but a little bit mean back to them, they would back down, because bullies love people who are weak. So when people started saying stuff to me, I would say, oh really? Well, I said, quit talking to me like that. That's not right how you're talking to me. It's rude. And so they would go, oh, okay. So nursing, so this job made me this way. I had to be strong and had to be outspoken, because if not, then I would get trampled on. I would not be able to do the job. So I learned how to do that. Trust me, when I would say the words sometimes in my head, like I would say, oh my God, did I just say that to somebody? But I noticed it was effective for the most part. So we call it here, there's a saying here there's a saying called pulling someone's coat.
What does it mean?
So it means when someone is being rude to you and you tell them off, or you're telling them, quit talking to me like that because that's rude. It's like pulling your coat. It's like, get over here. So it's just an expression, pulling one's coat. So I learned to be outspoken, and the more I did it, the more respect I got. So, and my friends who knew me, they would say, oh my God, what did nursing do to Tanya? I had to, because I can't go home and cry. So I would say to myself, I'm either going to sink or I'm going to swim. So I said, I'm going to swim. So that's what I did. Yeah, it took a little while, but I learned that when you stick up for yourself, especially against a bully, they don't like that. So for the most part, they shut that down, and then you get respect like that. So yeah, that's how nursing brought me out like this. Now my aunt who got a job at the same place I did, she went home and cried for a month and quit. See, I went to school for this, paid a lot, paid for my degree, and so I said, I'm going to be strong. And God made me strong also, so that helped me too. Of course, give him all the glory, because of course, he's very loyal and faithful. But so I would have to have talks with myself. That's how I got out of it.
I see.
No one believes me. They're like, what? Someone said, Tanya, you got a smart mouth. I said, well, you have to hear.
Yes. Life forces you to be like that sometimes.
No, not everybody. Like my mother does not know how to be mean, but I don't let people walk all over me anymore.
But you are not mean to me, for example.
But I mean, if somebody is rude to me, I can become rude back. You'll see me get, which we call here, you want to see me get live? Live means I'm going to act. So people will say, when someone is mean to them, they'll say, they stick up for themselves. It's called sticking up for yourself. Talking back to the person, saying, stop treating me like that, it's rude. So they'll say, either pulling someone's coat, they'll say sticking up for yourself. They'll say confrontation, it's confronting somebody, or it's I told him off. Trying to think of some other sayings. Oh, I told him like it is. So I mean, it's just sticking up for yourself, because if you keep doing, bullies love this, crying and cowering down, and that's not sticking up for yourself. But I've learned to do that, and has helped me. Every now and then, it's very small percentage, it's backfired, but for the most part, I get when you speak your mind, you tell people that's not right the way you're treating me. You should get respect for it.
Okay, let's talk about your hometown. Please describe your hometown a little.
My hometown. My hometown. When I grew up in a small part of Pittsburgh, we had a street where everybody knew each other. All the neighbors were friends, and all the kids would play together. and then we got older, and then people grew apart and families moved away. So, do I know any of my neighbors now? No, I do not. People are like, I don't know. People don't talk here. They stay to themselves. So, I'm friendly. I try to be, you know. But so I mean, let's see. I would say the city of Pittsburgh, my hometown. We have a lot of sports here. A lot of sports fans. People like to watch football. People like to watch hockey. People like to watch baseball is a big thing here. They like build big stadiums for it. And also there's a lot of parks and walking trails and grassy areas. You can ride bikes everywhere. A lot of people ride bikes. A lot of people run for exercise, especially on the weekend when people are off work. Let's see what else. A lot of grassy places, a lot of trees, a lot of grass, a lot of pretty areas here. We have these large rivers that you'll see bridges built over them. Have buses here, Uber, cab, a lot of tall buildings downtown. And then we have like the city, and then we have the suburb, and then the country. So the city is where like all the buildings, it's very accessible. Like if I want to get, something like a donut or something sweet or something to drink, I just have to walk 2 minutes down the street and there's a food convenience store there. Everything is like I can walk to basically. Now, if you live in the suburbs, it's more like, I guess, family oriented. They say the houses are bigger and nicer, more like grassy areas and lawns and children and families. But I don't like it because you have to drive like 30 minutes to get somewhere. I like convenience. And then country is where people like live far away and the houses are spread like miles away from each other, and they have like horses and cows and chickens, and it's like country living. To me, bring a book. That's boredom. I'm very bored doing that. You can only read so much, you know. But so I'm a city girl.
Okay, what is your town well known for?
What is my what?
What is your town well known for?
Oh, what is my town? Having the sports base, because we have the World Series, like baseball. Baseball is big here. Football, our team has won the most Super Bowls, they call them, and then our hockey team is on the top chart. And people go crazy for this. Not me, but people do.
Do you like your hometown?
I mean, it's okay. It's not my favorite because I think people are very conservative here. I'm not a conservative person, I'm more liberal. I mean, I like arts, I love musicals, and I love singing, and I love plays, and I like dancing. So I like New York City because there's always stuff going on. So whatever you want to do is there. Here it's like you have black people, white people, and people are racist and prejudiced against people they don't know, or we have people who are Indian or people who come from Middle East or whatever. People are like really weird about that, you know. It's very closed-minded, and I'm not like that, so.
Is that a big city or a small place?
We think it's a big city, but when you go to other places, like I think like Chicago, and you go to New York City, like I was talking about, and if you go to Boston, I think the cities, they might be bigger, but don't quote me on that, I'm not sure.
How long have you been living there?
Oh my God, I've been here, in June, it'll be 55 years.
Do you think you will continue living there for a long time?
No, I would like to move. I love California, it's beautiful out there. I mean, I like California, but it's very expensive. So I wouldn't mind living in California in the winter and living in New York City in the fall and spring.
Have you ever lived in the countryside?
No, I don't want to. I don't like the country. It's boring.
Okay, what is the difference between living in the countryside and the city?
Like I said, city is very accessible. There's a lot of people here. If I need something, somebody's right me. Even though if I don't know them, I can just go, hey, I need some help. Can you help me? Country, people live miles and miles away from each other. So if you don't have a car, There's nothing you can do. There's no public transport. You can't get somewhere and fast. Like I can get somewhere in like 2 minutes. I just need to walk, you know, if I want to. Country, it'll take you an hour to get somewhere. And that's inconvenient to me. I don't like that.
Okay. How has your town changed over the last 20 years?
So the city of Pittsburgh used to be a steel mill town, which meant the steel mills would give off, like, it was a big thing here. It's where all the men workers went to. And what happened was, when steel burns, whatever you make steel, it gives all this ash. So the city used to be covered in like this brown dust, rusty dust. So we had a mayor here whose name is Mayor Caligiuri, and there's like a statue of him, and he redid the whole city. They call it the Renaissance. So he made the city like a lot of parks, trees, plants, places to hike, places to walk. So he did a really good job. And the city looks nice now. Or not, it's okay. I mean, the one thing I don't like about it is just construction everywhere. It drives me crazy, but what are you gonna do?
Okay, thank you. That's all for hometown.
Oh, you're welcome.